Good morning, everybody. Hi. I wanted to jump on here to tell you how great God is and what He's been doing for me in my life. Okay. I used to be this very angry person, unhappy, impatient, depressed. Just my moods just go up and down. Just it was crazy how it was. Not 100% better. I mean, I'm better than I was yesterday. I'm a better person than I was yesterday. I'm not perfect. I will still make mistakes. I will still go through struggles. But what I feel now to compare what I felt yesterday, big difference. I'm a different person. My relationships with people have gotten better. I'm getting along with people, and I'm more patient and more loving and more understanding, and I'm not depressed. I got God to go to. So He's just changed me so much. And you know, but I wanted to share my testimony of faith. A lot of you know I moved to Orville, right? So but you don't know everything that I went through, and I wanted to share that. So during COVID, I know it was a hard time for all of us, and but it was like in the midst of the COVID, I was at that time trying to find a bigger place to move. I was able to afford it financially, and I wanted a bigger place. I lived in a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom with the 4 of us. My son was with me off and on, my oldest. He'd move out sometimes and then move back in, and so him and my other son shared a room, and my daughter and I shared a room, and it was small, and it wasn't the best place because it needed a lot of work, and I was having problems with pests that they weren't really taking care of, and I couldn't get rid of them because, the neighbors, they had them really bad, and long story short, I just had pest problems. And no matter what I do, couldn't take care of it. It was just very frustrating, and I just wanted out of that apartment. It wasn't happening. This wasn't happening. I was looking in Manteca. I was looking out of Manteca, close enough to Manteca. Just all these, it just wasn't happening because either the owners wanted me to make 3 times the rent, or they said my credit wasn't good enough, and it was like I would have money saved or deposit. It was like this with my credit and my savings. It just wouldn't really, okay. I could have even buy a house. I haven't tried doing that, but I had good enough credit to buy a house, but I didn't have a down payment, vice versa. All this stuff was going on. It was just like, it wasn't happening. And I was getting mad. I was getting frustrated. I was crying. I was depressed. I was like, why isn't this happening? I want out of this place. Just get me out. And it just wasn't happening, and I was just hating myself, okay? And long story short, I realized, I'm becoming this person I don't want to become. And I turned to God. I was like, my cats are playing, sorry, little noisy cats. Anyways, I was like, I'm going to draw nearer to God and stop drawing away. I'm going to draw nearer. I'm going to do what I have to do to get closer to God. And so instead of just going to church on Sundays, I started going to church on Wednesdays too. And then eventually they had choir, and I was like, you know what? I want to join choir, because they needed people. And I'm not the best singer, but I do enjoy singing. So I joined, and I loved it. But they don't have they stopped choir. I didn't quit or anything, and they didn't kick me out, but they just stopped choir. But it was fun. They had to stop it because COVID would go back up and decline or whatever. So it would just shift, and COVID. So that's why choir stopped. They didn't kick me out. Anyways, I also promised myself that when they had the Paragon class start again, eventually, that if they ever eventually start that again, I would like to join it. And so, lo and behold, they had it and I signed up and I was like, hey, I'm going to do this. Because the last time I tried to do Paragon, it seemed like it was just too much obligations and I couldn't reach them because I had a special needs daughter and this and that. And I was just like, I can't do that. That's just too much. Well, this time around, I'm like, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to take that class and I'm going to do it. And I did. And that class taught me so much. It taught me about the Bible. I didn't really know too much about the Bible, and I'm reading my Bible twice a day. It taught me the history of the Bible and who wrote each book and how to break the Bible down, just how to understand the Bible and the Bible verses and what they mean. And this class also taught me how to pray. It also mostly taught me how to forgive. And no, not to hold grudges. No, I don't hold grudges anymore against anybody. I pray for people. It's taught me a lot. It took like this big old weight off my shoulders and brought me closer to God and built my relationship with Him. And it's awesome. So from there, I've learned to to trust God. You know what? To stop complaining, to stop getting mad about what's not happening and about what I don't have, but be thankful for what I have. So I told God, okay, I know you will help me move whenever you want me to move. If you want me to stay here, then thank you. I have this apartment. Yeah, it's not what I want, but how do I know what I want? Thank you, God. I have a roof over my head and my children's head. Yes, it's small. Yes, I'm having these problems, but I'm going to try to make the best of everything that I can. Okay? I will do it. I don't know why I'm not moving, but you know why. Okay? You know why. And then, in the midst of COVID and everything, before I even took this Paragon class, my stepmom has passed away, leaving my father, my biological dad, alone. And he seemed fine for a while. You know, he was sad about his wife and everything, but, you know, as time passed, months passed, times passed, I've seen his health kind of like decline. And visiting him and talking to him on the phone, I'm like, okay, I just don't feel good about this. What am I going to do? I'm the only child. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm all he has. But, you know, also talking to my mom and my siblings who live in Redding, they were like, you need to move here in this, you know, area. It's cheaper. And my father really wanted me to move too. He lives in Chico. I'm like, I can't move here, you guys. You know, I have my kid's father. They have to see him. I mean, like every other weekend, I'm like, I can't do that. It's just, you know, if they were older, whatever. I can't do that. But the more I talked to my father and everything, the more I was like, you know what? I need to move to Chico. So I started looking for a place in Chico. And it wasn't happening because they're like, you don't have a job. You need to get a job. You can't just move here without a job. Even though I explained to them I was going to have the money to pay ahead of time, you know, until I find a job, they were like, no. So I went and got a job in Chico. Got the job in June, and I was going to start in August, and I was looking for a place, but it was hard to find a place. It wasn't really happening. And I was just like, what am I going to do? And my father's sounding worse, you know, and I was just getting nervous. And July comes, you know, this is how much time has passed. I was like, I had that interview June 20th or something like that. So 2 weeks later, July comes and my father's birthday comes. You know, I talked to him that Friday night, and because I talked to him every other day. And so I was like, okay, I'll talk to you Sunday morning. I'll wish you a happy birthday before I go to church. Okay. So I talked to him on the phone Friday, and that's what we, you know, I said, okay, bye. I'll talk to you Sunday morning. I called Sunday morning. I didn't talk to him all day Saturday. We already told him I was going to call Sunday. Saturday's a busy day for me. I work Monday through Friday. I got all the stuff I have to do. Running errands and everything. So Sunday comes, okay? I call him to wish him happy birthday. He's not answering the phone, the first time. So I'm like, okay, I'll leave a voicemail. I'll call you back when I get back from church. But then I'm like, you know what? Starting to get ready. I'm like, I'm going to call him one more time because I just make sure he's okay. He has a cell phone. He should be answering his phone, but okay. So I called and he's not answering his phone. I'm like, I'm getting worried. I'm like, okay, I got ready for church. And I'm like, I'm going to call one more time. I don't know what's going on. This is frustrating. So I called him again. No one answers. So I'm like, I don't feel good about this. So I text his friend that lives works at a building down, basically behind his building where he lives. He works at this building. I had him check. And my father was on the floor. He was on the floor since Friday. He was on the floor for 2 days. Nobody knew. Everybody was busy that weekend, out of town. He has his neighbors, he has his friends, he has his cousins who live in Paradise, but everybody was busy and I didn't know he was on the floor. Nobody knew because my father was by himself. He ended up being in the hospital for a week and he ended up being in a care home for a month. All of July. He didn't get out to August. But in the midst of all this, I'm getting more frustrated. I'm like, God, what's going on? Why is this happening? I'm crying, God, why? I know that you honor us taking care of our parents, and I know you honor us taking care of the sick. Why can't I be there to help take care of my father? And I talked to his friend. I said, this is very frustrating. I'm trying to move there and I cannot find a place. He's all, I know. I try to help your father, help you find one, but it's hard to find a 3-bedroom place here. And I'm like, well, I don't even care about a 3-bedroom anymore. And I live in a 2-bedroom right now and I can't even find a 2-bedroom, Chico. I don't even care. I'll just move closest as I can to Chico. So he's all, you know what? I didn't know this. I thought you wanted a 3-bedroom and I thought you wanted it in Chico. And I said, no, I just don't even care anymore. It's about taking care of him and being there for him. He said, well, I have a 2-bedroom in Orville coming up in 1 month. And guess what? I live here in the 2-bedroom apartment. That's faith, Unfortunately, my father had to suffer. He had pain, but if he didn't end up in the hospital and stuff, I would not be living here, probably. I'd still be living in Manteca, still looking for a place. So, it's just crazy because I feel like one of the disciples, when Jesus told the disciples, come and take nothing, because I have sacrificed so much. I had to turn that job down because he got, my father needed me more. He needed me more than I thought he would. Because now, I'm his caregiver. And I can't work and be his caregiver and take care of my children. My daughter's special needs too. So I sacrificed. I gave up my job and everything and came here knowing God was going to provide for me and my children. And he has. It hasn't been easy. I'm still paying my tithes with what little money I have. I'm not even getting any Social Security for my daughter right now like I used to get, and trying to get that back. But he's providing for me. I'm on unemployment, and eventually we'll start getting paid to take care of my father too through the in-home services agency. So that's good. We're trying to do that process. But God has just been providing for me and my children. We have everything we need, I'm struggling a little bit with bills, but, I have what I need. I trust God, and he's providing for us. And some people tell me, why did you sacrifice so much for your father when he hasn't been there for you all these years? Him and my mom got divorced when I was 2 years old, and I didn't meet him until I was 18. Okay? But that's God. You know, I do it because of God. Because I forgive Jesus died for our sins, and God forgives us for our sins. So I need to forgive people. And I forgive my father for not being there for me. We didn't have a relationship then, but we have a relationship now. And I want to show my father love. And I want to show him God's love. I want to be a witness to him before he passes and leaves this earth to make a choice to live for God. He might not know God all his life, but now he's going to know God because I'm going to help with that. God's using me to help him. So, yeah, this apartment is actually smaller than my other apartment. And I never thought that I would move to Orville. I'm living in a town my grandparents used to live in. And I didn't think much of this town. I never really been that much places in Orville. But I live in Orville now. I never thought I was going to live in Orville. I thought maybe I lived in Redding, if not Chico. But I live in Orville. 28 minutes away from my father. An hour and a half away from my siblings and my mom. So we're getting to see each other more. This is a blessing. This apartment's small. I have a pull-out bed in my couch, and the living room is my room. I gave the kids their own room so they would have their own space, so I can have my own space. I don't have a door, but I'm making the best of it, okay? And this apartment is small, but it is cute, and I am trying to make it more functional, by organizing and playing with it and doing all these things. But I like it. It's cute. Most of all, you know what? I don't have the pest problem anymore. I don't have to worry about that. And the apartment's not falling apart. If I need help with it, he will come and he'll fix things. It's an old building, but it's cute. And if my father didn't end up in the hospital and stuff, I wouldn't have been here. I could still be in Manteca, like I said, sitting there looking for a place. Still. But now I'm here to help take care of my father, and I'm closer to my family, and it's just a blessing. Just being faithful and being thankful just gets you so far. You know how I said I don't have my own room? Guess what? I'm going to get my own room. When I moved here, there's a building being built, apartments being built down the street from where I live now, okay? Come to find out, those were affordable housing, that building. So I applied just to see. I'm like, well, let's see what happens, because I did move here in an emergency, and the manager does know that I eventually wanted a bigger place, but I was moving here as an emergency, and he helped me, and it's just been a blessing. But I applied for that apartment, and it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. I'm getting my own room. And I get an extra bathroom. We don't have to fight over the bathroom anymore. We have an extra bathroom. I get to shut my door to my bedroom. I get to take a timeout. And I'm 47, so I'm going to take a 47-minute timeout. I'm going to tell my children, you leave me alone for 47 minutes. I'm taking a timeout. Okay? And I'm going to come back out. And I'm going to go back in there every 47 minutes. I get my own room. I get to shut my door, read my Bible in peace. I get to meditate in the Lord and just pray and just have my own space. It's mine. My own room. I finally am getting my own room. It didn't happen when I wanted it to happen. But it happened in God's time. And I just needed to have faith and patience. And God provided. Even if He didn't provide that for me, I still have this. And I was thankful for it. God is great, you all. He's good. He will provide for you too. It might not happen when you want it to happen, but it will happen in God's time. Just have that faith. Keep going forward. Keep reaching for God. He's always there. You just need to reach for his hand and he will take it. He will take your hand. Just reach. Keep reaching no matter what. Don't give up. Keep going forward. Keep going forward. Keep God. And also, if you're having relationship problems with people, pray for them. Don't just pray for your needs, but pray for their needs too. They might need spiritual prayer or healing physically or mentally or spiritually. Pray for them. Everybody has struggles. We all have struggles. And you might not be able to help that person per se, but you always could pray for them. You always can pray. I have a long list of prayers that I do every day now for people, morning and night, when I read my Bible, because I read my Bible morning and night. I always put God first. And since I put God first and I trust him and I give faith, and I'm like sacrificing everything, he's providing for me. I trust him. Whatever he tells me to do, I trust him. I trust him with my money. I trust him with my life. I trust him with everything. So I just wanted to share this experience with you guys, because I'm a total different person than I used to be. I have a lot of work still ahead of me, but that's the point. I'm working on it. And I'm working on it through Christ. God is my counselor. He is healing me. He's the answer to all my questions, to everything that I need. He's the answer. So I just wanted to let you guys know and share that with you. And I hope you all have a blessed day. All right. Thank you for listening. God bless.